Okay, let's go ahead and just check that we're on fully and we're A-OK.
Hey guys, haven't seen you guys in a while. So I'm about
that was a fact. Okay, we'll go ahead to my page and we'll go ahead and see if everything is live up and ready to go. Okay, guys, so this is House Ramirez. Y'all already know what's up. We out here in the communities and we're always spotlighting individuals that are causing change. Let me bring this up a little, that are causing change and are impacting our communities and just doing something different, you know? So that's what I'm all about. I like to put the spotlight on everybody. And today I have my wonderful sister, Jennifer. Jennie, it's so awesome to have you on my show. I'm about to introduce Jennie. And just tell us all about you. Jennie, how are you today?
Hi, I'm doing pretty good. I'm home in
Awesome.
Arkansas
I
right
love
now.
your hair. I love your hair. You look so
Thank
cute.
you, thank
Stylish.
you.
Look
I
at
just did
you,
it. I just did it.
girl.
So yes,
I
yes,
love
yes.
it. I love it. Yes, you're doing your thing. And
I'm
as I was telling
I'm dressing in a
everybody,
costume like little nods to go to Pride Lady Month, and I was gonna
okay.
do the red hair, but red and me don't go well. So
Pink does it. Pink does it well. So,
okay, cool.
Jennie, I want you to tell everybody just watching and tuning in right now. Thank you, by the way, to all of our audience, to our listeners, to our viewers right now. She is a gem. And I just want to thank you for making time to be on my show, Jennie. So I want to ask you, introduce yourself. Who are you and where are you from?
Well, okay. Well, I'm from a little bitty town in Arkansas. I'm called Callion. There's 400 people in it. And I was in the Navy. I was in the Navy for 13 years. I'm a mom of three beautiful daughters. And now I'm an activist. I just started using that word about myself.
Yeah, Jennie, and
I
that's super
lost
awesome. You know,
you.
yeah, so I went ahead and took my video out so we could go ahead and focus on you. So what a lot of people don't know, you're a U.S. retired veteran, correct? Jennie? Jennie, you went ahead and told us that you're from a small town in Arkansas and you were in
You?
the Jennie? Jennie, can you hear me?
I'll just keep talking then. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you
Yes,
hear
ma'am, I
me?
can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. So I was telling everyone that you just mentioned you were in the military, so you're a retired veteran.
Well, I was in for 13 years, and I got breast cancer, had ovarian cancer, had a lot of medical problems, but I'm feeling a lot better now, and so I have 100% service connected disability.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for your service. That means a lot. You know, a lot of people take it for granted. Thank you.
Well, it was my honor privilege to do it, and I learned so much, I saw so much, I met so many people that it was amazing.
Yes, most def, most def. So I want to ask you now you're a activist. Can you go ahead and tell us
Yeah.
what it is that you do now?
Well, I just started using that word to describe myself because I didn't even know what it really was, what I actually. But you know, 2016 to begin 2017, so I was alarmed by what was going on, and um, when I watched the video, I did a little bit of campaigning, a little bit of acting, in those 4 years, and I was a voter. I went home. I didn't let somebody else handle it. And then I was sitting on my couch when I saw George Floyd's video. I'm gonna try not to cry. Um, and he called out for his mama, and I I decided right then and there I was not gonna sit on my couch and gripe at the television anymore. I was gonna do something. I was gonna do something. And I had been a long time. Uh, and I'll share it with you because it's kind of important. When I was 5 years old, I'm going to cry thinking about it. When I was 5 years old, we lived in Mississippi in 1971. You know, height of desegregation and civil rights movement. And my dad owned a trucking company, and he had hired a driver, and the driver was moving in, but their house wasn't ready, so they stayed with us. There's and they had 3 kids. Um, we family, the dads went to work, you know, moms cooked, you know, and I thought it was fun because, you know, 3 kids to play with, you know, and I didn't know how to ride a 2-wheel bicycle. And their oldest son, his name was Marcus, one day taught me how to ride my bike without my training wheels. Our mom sitting on the porch drinking lemonade, you know, him catching me. I got a skin knee the whole day out there. And that night came. Finally, I accomplished the bike. Yahoo! I'm a bike rider now. You know, so we sat down for dinner as a family. We ate. We then that day you sat and watched television. It came time. You know, as kids all fades, and it came time to go to bed. And us kids up the steps to go to bed, and a crash came. And there's a brick that flew through our plate glass window. Remember, I'm only looking over my shoulder, and there was a cross burning in our yard. I had no idea what it meant, but I knew our moms were scared. They put us in a car. We went to a hotel that night, and they adults in one room, the kids were all in the other room, and dads are trying to calm mom down. And I saw something on my dad's face that I didn't see many times in my life. He was and to settle us kids down. And I remember asking, Daddy, why'd they do that? Why did they do that? And my dad said something along the effect is because they don't like it that Marcus's family has a different color skin. And I'm positive I said next. And I said, well, Daddy, will you just tell them that Marcus taught me how to ride my bicycle today and won't be mad at us anymore? I didn't know what that meant. I didn't understand. So the night that I watched that video of George, that memory came in my head. Thought to myself, you know, I moved on from that day, you know, and my life was not very much affected. You know, I mean, I remember it, you know, I remember him. I don't remember his last name. I don't know Mark's last name. I don't know how to get in touch with him. He'd be 60 now. How did that affect him? And I can't get to him, but I can do what I'm, which is fight for change. So I started protesting in Little Rock, and then when Trump put the federal troops at the Portland protesters, I just drove 2,300 miles to Portland, and I I was shocked that first night. I stood there as these federal troops piled out of that building and were shooting tear gas at us, and I'm just like, where am I? But after a long couple months there, I came back home and I decided I needed to educate myself. I need to understand what's going on. And even though I probably knew more than most people I know, I didn't know. So I met some awesome teachers who taught me. When I came home from Portland, I needed to make it a little bit more comfortable to do that. So I converted my cold seats and made a platform for a bed and geared that car up. I call it Nina, the Nissan, the Social Justice Warrior-mobile. And if you need it for a protest, it's there. You know, and pretty much, I tell people, if it's been on this year, I was there. 29,000 miles. I mean, 32 to 9 states. I can't hear you now.
Yeah, I went ahead and muted myself so
I
everyone
can't hear you.
can hear what you were saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I mean, I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm just listening at awe. You know, we have, to a certain extent, have all witnessed some type of injustice at a young age. You know, a lot of people understand that my parents are immigrants from Mexico, and I was born in Texas. So I got to see a lot of unfairness. And you know, we all deal with it. And sometimes we like push it in the back of our minds until it's time that it's triggered and it's time to do something. Then you
Yeah.
stand up and do something about it. And then, you know, seeing injustice at a young age moves you along your path in life to stand
Yes.
up for what's right. Even if it doesn't affect you directly, it makes you stand up
No.
for others when they can't stand up for themselves. And that has been built in us, you know, just witnessing that throughout life. But there's always that one time it just clicks. It just clicks,
Just
and
click.
you just go full savage. Yeah. So
And
yeah.
well, I think I'm especially called to do this work. I have skills that, and I have the ability to have. I'm a veteran, so I'm trained in chemical weapons and I know tactics, and I've taken the time to really educate myself about the. I'm a natural
Yeah.
salesman. I'm also, I make stuff. I don't call myself an art, but I build stuff, gear, and I can um, help. And you know, a lot of these kids have never done these things before. Um,
Yeah.
I'm pretty adaptive, and so and I'm a mom, so I'm there to keep everybody safe. I could work as a. I've worked in soup kitchens. I've helped build other people's out. I've built shields for the rubber bullets. I built homemade gas mask. I've taught kids how to do shield walls and passive resistance and 1,000 things. And
Mhm.
I can travel, and I'm not afraid about it. And go, hey, I'm different. I'm here.
Right,
Afraid to
right.
go to jail either. So and then,
Yeah. Well,
but
Chuck, that
this
one.
people tell me that you're doing it, it's not your fight. It is fight. My
Mhm.
ancestors made this problem.
Yeah.
It's my job to it's my job to talk to people who look like me because I people. They hear me. I can talk to people that are on the fence and explain it to them in a way, and because I'm a natural salesman, that's what I do, I'm passionate about this, and it means something. And there's a famous writer that says, they came for the Jews. I didn't care because it didn't affect me. When they came for the I didn't care because it didn't affect me. They came for that. And then they came for me, and there was no one to stand with me. So I joke that I've got a gold-plated white privilege card, and I will whip that sucker out and use it in the fight for
Amen.
the
Can we get an
cause.
amen? Yeah.
And
That's how it's.
I'm a little short white woman, old white woman, so I'm like Chihuahua. I can get by with doing and saying stuff that other people
Right. And you
they can't.
know, I will say that that is true, Jen, because there's so many times where, you know, I have two biological brothers and they're slightly tones darker than I am. And we have the same parents, same grandparents, but I'm just lighter. And I could get away with saying fuck you to whoever I fucking want to, but my brothers could possibly not get away with that shit. There's so
Yeah.
many times I had to
I
like
mean,
come
it's
in
over and
between.
so many examples,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so many, and I think my fellow protesters are amazed that I can do what I can do. They're
Yeah.
like, "How did you know you could do that?" I'm like, I've been white 55 years. I mean, I don't guess what I know. Um, it's got to stop. It's just, it's got to stop. Before I left Arkansas, I really kind of lost faith in humanity. I thought, because I'm from a very, I knew there was racists around here, but I didn't know how many rabid ones there were. And, but my trip has restored my faith in of people and
Right.
how we will come together to fight this thing. I've got I just can't even begin to list the amazing, strong, beautiful people that I've met. Now, I was in Louisville with a decision for Breonna Taylor that they weren't. I almost quit that day. There's women that I'd seen being so strong and so tough just break down, and I'm like, well, maybe this is a fight that we can't win. But I didn't stop. I didn't. I took a minute, to gather myself. Because I don't get to give up. I don't get to go home and sit in my white skin and do nothing. They don't get to take off their skin and quit. My grandchildren are, I don't have to have this talk with them. I don't get to quit. So I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, and I thank you for that. It takes guts. It takes a lot of guts. And love for thy neighbor. I always tell people when they're causing some type of change, it's against the current. You have to love others just as much as you love yourself, because you love yourself and you can easily say, it ain't have nothing to do with me, but you love others enough to put yourself in crossfire, literally, to stand up for change. So there's many ways.
And I met so many families of the victims too. So that gives me a real face of it, and really connected with them. So it's personal to me now. It's very personal. So we can do this. We fix this. If we don't seize the opportunity to fix it now, it's gonna go by. So I'm home for a couple more days, and I'm headed up to the Treaty Peoples Gathering in northern Minnesota. And then I'm headed down to Virginia in Minneapolis, and then I'm gonna be there for the sentencing show. But I was there when they announced. I was so nervous. I was throwing up. I was so nervous when they said they had a decision. Oh my God! I'm like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. But I was pleasantly surprised all three counts. So, but I'm going for the sentencing, and then Pride's, a couple days after. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, most definitely. So I want to ask you, what exactly drives you?
I've never been to a festival before, so.
Really? That would be
Yes,
fun.
I've never been one. Yes.
Yeah. I want to ask you, Jen.
But.
Well, when we're including everybody in change, we have to understand that we have to stand up for everybody. Nobody's left behind. Literally, nobody should be left behind. Regardless of what you look like, what you do on your spare time, what your way of life is, or who you are, there should be nobody left behind. And I want to ask you, what moves you?
When you elevate the marginalized, love, I think does. When you elevate you elevate all of society. This helps the Black community when we fix this system. It makes us all. It makes the world a better place for grandchildren. We'll protect that's a better world for my grandchildren too. I'm not just going there to protect them. I'm going there to help my children too. And we're at a precipice. This is happening all across the world, and it's not just contained in the States of America. And I joined the military and sacrificed my good health for the rest of my life for an ideal, the shining city on the sea. Bring me your tired, huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Men are created equal. I've been educated. We may not have ever been that. The more I learned, the less we were never that. But that doesn't mean that that's not the reason I am fighting it. So the reason I continue to fight it, because I'm on this country. I'm going to spend my dying breath making it what I thought it was.
Yep, that is true, and that's how it should start. Love for a better place for everyone, just ourselves. I do, and I definitely want to iterate something that my friend said the other day. He was talking about Congress restoring Confederates office holding rights with the Amnesty Act of 1872. I read up on that article, and it just shows the background, the backbone of what everything's been structured. And I wouldn't say that, you know, I don't support, because I do have a lot of brothers and sisters in the military. I even have blood family that has been in the military, like cousins. Shout out to them. Shout out to, you know, everyone that I know that's wearing a badge. But there are fucked up situations where there's a small percentage of people that are fucked up, and that's what we're trying to really fix. We're not going against the ones that are
and
pure.
you know, right. And, you know, when I joined the military, thinking, you know, we're out there spreading freedom and democracy and, you know, helping the world. Maybe one time, but that's not what we're doing now. And how much money is being spent and for the few, and that's not our mission anymore. They say it is, but not what we're doing. We're colonizing. We're colonizers.
Yeah.
And that needs to stop. The problem is systemic. You know, when my girls were little, I thought it would be wonderful for my girls to join them. I wanted them to, because I had a wonderful experience. And then I started this 20-year war and at the VAs, and these vets come back, and I know what I learned when I was in, and then I'm learning even more. And I went from they would be a good idea to I would rather them not, till I would get in front of a bus to start it. No, you're not. And yeah, so I love my country. I do. I love my country. I don't like, you know, slavery turned into Jim Crow, which turned into the prison to profit system and the industrial military complex. The that we thought was not there. We can't be that. You know, it doesn't mean we can't be that, and we have to start educating better so that people know what's happening, and we have to become more involved. So I know that not everybody's going to turn their car into a car and drive and shower Planet Fitness and, you know, and do what I'm doing, but I have inspired, you know, to do their own little thing, you know. And I know a lot of the people I've met of color, you know, they're like, they, you know, add about me, you know, I have to explain to them, and then they see that I'm real. They see what I can do, and then other white people are like, why are you doing it? What's your deal with that? Then I explain it to them, and so I change minds in both communities.
Yeah.
We have a segregate in the South here. We have a segregated. We go to different churches. You know, we have different social groups, and it's not segregation, but it's societal. We need to talk to each other. My life isn't, nor has it ever been. But other people
it is
it's
true.
It's the other people. It's the other people. You know.
Well, I will say, you know, I was telling someone the other day that we're in different groups, and then we're comfortable in our own group, and different people, it takes guts to really try to like make people understand why we're over here on two different planes, you know? Because sometimes it's just a misunderstanding.
Those in charge are trying to divide us. The few at the top that are try to divide us by race just happens to be the easiest one. And sex or sexual orientation and 900 pro-gun, not gun, choice, anti-choice. Yeah, they divide us up for a reason.
Yeah, well, I think that it's our job, like you said,
unite, realize we have the same cause and the same desires and the same everything. Then we come together and they lose. But that's what's happening. It's happening.
Yeah.
Not as fast as I want.
That is true, but it takes time. But the change comes with persistency, consistency, and wanting to learn the difference, wanting to learn the truth, and then doing something about it. Because one thing is knowing something, but we have to get over the hurdle of knowing. Some people just don't see it. So when you see it, what are you doing about it? And then slowly but surely we will get to change. So I think that's awesome. I want to ask you, how many different places did you say that you've been to?
And
Wow, that's
32,000
amazing.
miles. You know, I've spent both Portland,
Yeah.
Kenosha, Louisville, DC, and then after to Georgia for a while because you get them Senate seats, and then I had to have a couple of and then so. But I mean, I've been a bunch of cities in between those, but then to Savannah, New York City, and then crossing the middle of the country. Yeah, I've been everywhere.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I want to applaud you for that. It takes a lot of dedication. So thank you for that.
I'm so much, so much easier on my soul to feel like I'm doing something. That I guess that's my coping strategy. When something's broken, I can't just sit and gripe about it. Do something. I feel better about it that I'm not just griping. So that's how I cope with the stress of, oh my goodness, things are so where I'm like, they're doing everything I can every day. And I'm making art, and we just simple things like putting dime up on the fence. We spent 4 days cutting letters and doing that and meet people and playing music, and it's pretty cool. And my car is loaded with the tools to fix everything and the art supply, everything, and all the protest gear. Shield and my medic bag and gas mask and filters and clothes. It's funny, megaphone, the Bluetooth speakers. It's low. What you want? We're ready to go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think that's cool.
So like, do you have any Tylenol? Yes, it's in Nina the Nissan, and she's that. Who I named her after? Nina Turner. Nina Turner.
Oh Lord. Oh
That was
Lord.
Bertie's campaign manager. Yeah, because I like her.
Yeah.
And Nina Simone, the singer.
Yeah.
So that's what I named.
I like
it. Had to be an N name,
Of course.
Oh, I should name it after Nakima out of Minneapolis. Nakima, who's some activist there. I might start calling the dang car Nakima like her too. She's a powerful woman.
Yeah, I believe it. That's awesome. Well, you are packed and loaded, and I commend you for everything that you do. And like you said, a lot of times we can't do that, but what we can do, we can do it in our own space, in our own town, in our own state, and that counts a lot because it's moving in the right direction. So a lot of times, like for example, just people with kids, we can't just pick up and go, but maybe we can inform ourselves if we don't know, and then inform others. So it's the little steps that you can do that is in the right direction that causes change.
So many people have told me that what I'm doing inspired them to do. They went to a local protest, or they volunteered at a homeless shelter, or decided to go one Sunday to a different church of a different race. So many people, so many count now, and so. But you know what? If only inspired one person to be different, just one, that'd be worth it. It would be worth it to me.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. So I want to ask,
and some not very many people have.
That is true. That is very true. That is very true.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you, what are your takes on everything now that you have witnessed different cities and different people and different movements? What are your takes now?
That Prince was right. He said the revolution of Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Prince was right. He said long ago. And that's what it's. I live in a very, very red state with that's It's very, very different.
Okay.
But it's going to come together. And I've seen changes, you know. We got, you know, pulled up at Pete Orpet's house, got him to release the case to Keith Ellison like we wanted to about Kim Potter, you know. Sean got convicted. Those other three, there's federal charges, you know. And if George Floyd's murder was cast like it was, Kim Potter wouldn't even have been charged with rights murder. We would not be even know about what happened to Andrew Brown. There was no investigation into Breonna Taylor. Kobe Heisler in Minneapolis, that we wouldn't even know his name. So it shined a light on a problem that was huge, but it came at the right time, in the right place, because we all remember Eric Garner and Rodney King. This is the right time, the right place, that, and the way to disseminate it in a way, and it's going to spark change. It's going to. I don't expect it to change overnight. I want the George Floyd Federal Police Reform Act passed. I want the Voting Rights Act passed. Yeah, small changes are happening. They're being held accountable, but you know, it's the long game. And look, it requires more than just activists. People and lawmakers and people emailing and calling, and there's many roles you can take in this fight. And pick one, do some.
Yeah.
You know, I do this because I can, and not very many people get. But why would I sit home and email and call my legislators when the other people can do that? I'll do this. You know, and I'll be out in the boots on the ground. You know,
I know, and that's awesome. So more power to you, Jennie.
that's who I am.
Okay.
I enjoy it. I feel fulfilled, and I love doing it. I don't see myself stopping. You know, every time my girls are like, "What do you?" I don't know. I don't know. When I leave this plan, I'm coming back to Denver. So, and they said, "Where are you going?" I said, "Well, I know where I'm going until after Pride, and then I don't know. I don't know. It's something will happen. I'll need to be somewhere else."
Yeah. And that's awesome. So, you know, much respect to you, Jennie, and thank you for everything that you have done and you continue to do, and I know you will continue to do in the future.
Yeah.
So I
It's
want
my
to
honor.
ask
There's
you,
no
do you?
thanks necessary.
Oh well,
Do I
all
what?
thanks from this. I said all thanks from this house.
Oh.
So I want to ask you, would you encourage this for others? Would you encourage your strong journey, your power, your will, your drive to anyone else?
Yes, I would. I mean, if that's how you're built, you know, what I'm doing is not for everybody. It's hard work. It's you know, you're cold and you're, you know, stranded and broke, and you know, you got to get to the next place and do the next thing. This is not just I'm going around vacationing. Trust and believe that. Now there are some, you know, moments, but it's hard emotional work. So if you're geared to that, then do that. But I want everybody that is doing it to remember to care for themselves. You've got to stay off and gather yourself, you know, go in nature and zen out, or you just get ate up with problems and you can't see. And that's also another good thing I can do in these protests is they're angry, and so I'm really trying to maintain my calm energy when I go in and not get angry myself, and try to de-escalate, you know, and bring them back, you know. And I'm a mom, that's what I do, and I think it's a good gift of mine that I could. And let me tell you, sometimes it's really hard. It's really hard to maintain, and but I'm good. But I know there are days, you know, Lou, I just had to take a minute, you know, take a week, just go, whew, because I just get mad, you know. And also anger is contagious, and I don't like to get that virus to anybody. So, you know, I shed 1,000 tears and screamed in a car, but I've also laughed and was in wonder and awe. So it's a roller coaster.
Yeah, definitely. So you would encourage it to those that are strong, that are able to actually take on the role,
Yes.
to take on that
Yes.
leadership. So I would
Yes.
definitely suggest that too. If you're able and willing, and you have the guts to
Yes.
actually check yourself when you're getting too angry, when you're, and it's okay
And
to
be
get
educated.
upset. Yeah, of course. But it's okay to be upset. It's just don't let it engulf you, because
Yes.
it's energy, and energy does transfer
Right.
to others. So I love the fact that you're
Yes, it
going
does.
in there with a level head and being able to know the information, knowing where you're coming from, what your point is, and move in that space instead of moving in rage. So it's always good
Yes.
to move without emotion. That's how things get done. So I want to thank you for that.
Well, you got to move with love. Move with love. You move with love centered, I feel like I set a lot of little codes, personal, but codes that I'm gonna do this in. I'm a white person, so I'm not gonna be on a mic. I usually talk to press, to leaders. Just don't center myself and be educated about what you're talking about. Don't talk to people, except that other people's emotions aren't what you are, and that doesn't make theirs wrong. Um, unless you're a racist, and then yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah, and you know what I love is that our country allows us to have liberty of speech. So we're able to speak. Not saying that our speaking cannot have consequences, because we can have consequences based off of what we say and what we
Exactly.
do. But we do have that right to stand up for something when it's wrong. So I just
Right.
want to applaud you for what you're doing. I do want to ask you, what do you think this world needs to actually be a better place? You have walked life differently, but we all have life the same way. We're born, we live life, and then we croak and die. So, based off of the footsteps you have took on this path of life, what do you think we need to be a better world, a better humanity?
I mean, I think that all the whole concept is just love is the meaning of life, isn't it? That's the damn meaning of life is love. And the second thing is everybody just needs to mind your own business. Don't try to police or degrade, and let's just open ourselves up to different experiences. Look around. I come from a very red Republican area. One of the girls I went to high school with asked me, she goes, Jennifer, what happened to you to make you so different from everybody around here? They so different. Tell you what made me different. While you stayed here in this one horse town, I left here and I went as far away from here as humanly possible. Actually, I went as far away. And I said, I met people, every socioeconomic background, every religion, from countries I'd never even heard of. And I didn't just meet them, I lived with them, worked with them, learned to love many of them. I read and I got an education. I read good books by good authors and bad books by bad authors. I
Yeah.
studied philosophy and astronomy and was taught by people good things to be like and bad things to be like. And you know what? What happened to me wasn't, it was by design. And I'm sorry that what happened to me didn't happen to you too.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. So yeah, I see that you keep pushing love, and I think that love is the ultimate thing that we need to move in a positive direction. So I want to thank you. I do know that you're a very strong woman, so kudos to you, and big shout outs to you and your family and everyone in your corner. But who would your House of Ramirez shout out be, Jen? Who would you like to go ahead and shout out that has been supporting you?
I first had my parents. Man, I had rock star parents on the parent lottery. They were just amazing people. Uh, my daughters, Sarah, Winona, and Campbell, and my 4 grandchildren. When I was leaving last time, my little granddaughter ran out and said, "Nini, Nini, I wabu was saving no wool for us." I mean, come on.
I
You
know,
know,
right?
and there's not a day that goes by that I don't think of Marcus, who taught me how to ride that bicycle day. Don't know his last name, don't know how to get him, but he's in my heart every single day. And all of the families of victims I've met, they motivate me every day. You know, as time has progressed, things have. I become more worried about how I'm going to go. I needed a bulletproof helmet to continue doing. So if anybody's got one, you can donate to me.
Hey. Yeah, I think we all need it. We need to keep you safe. You're truly a U.S. gem. So thank you.
Well, when I heard the shots the other morning at George Floyd Square, and I'm going back there and shoving, I'm like, you know, I need a bulletproof vest now. I think I need that now. I am in the front. They're not going to terrorize me into staying home. They're not. So donate it.
Hey,
I need
yeah.
it.
So where can we contact you? Where can we go ahead and follow you and just see your journey?
Facebook, I started a page lately called Arkansas Social Justice Warrior /activist. I'm also Jennie Pierce and Jennifer Isla Pierce on Facebook. I keep two accounts because sometimes I get in Facebook jail.
Hey,
and
you're doing something right.
Sometimes, and I also Jennifer Pierce 6693 or I think it's J Pierce. My niece made a TikTok about me that kind of went viral, banned it from when I put on my page because I was kind of mooning Trump Tower, and they said it was for nudity. You know, scandalous.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, oh my God, Jennie. But hey, somebody did it, right?
But you know, somebody said you should moon Trump Tower, and I'm like, you don't know who you talk to because I do it. And
you sure enough did it. I was like, you sent me the TikTok, and I was like, click, and I was like, oh my God.
Oh yes. They banned me for nudity and sexual content or something. I'm like, oh, that's so silly. So silly.
Yo, but I truly want to thank you for everything that you're doing, Jennie. I want to applaud you as well, and shout out to your whole family.
I get so much more out of it than I put in. I do. I get so much more out of it.
Yeah. I love it. So I want to thank you, and this won't be the last time you'll be here. This will be one out of many times we'll bring you on the show and just get a close up update as to what your journey is like. You know, many of us can't leave home, but you sacrifice everything to go out there, and we want to know the behind the scenes. So thank you.
And that's one of the reasons I say I do this, to be a real person on the street, to show you how things are, not filtered through something, you know, narrative. You know, this is how things really are right now, and hope change minds.
Yeah, exactly.
This time I'm bringing a girl from Little Rock. I made Nina the Nissan sleep too because I'm incredible. I can put 10 pounds of flour in a 5 sack.
Hey.
And I made an extendable bed, and it hinges up, it has her gear underneath. And I made her, she's a sneak, so I made her a shoe rack for her dang shoe boxes this time. And so it's a kind of to have somebody with me. She went with me last time, and she's going with me this time. And when I extend the platform, it's 6 foot by 4 inches wide, and it's comfy. In fact, it's so comfy. I got home, my real bad bed made my back hurt. I pulled the mattress out of the dang car and put it on the floor. My car more comfortable than my California King expensive mattress.
I know that's right. But yeah, just let us know how your trip goes. You know, I know you said you'll be out till September. So I wish you well, you and the young lady that are going with you. And I'm only a phone call away. So if you ever need anything, House of Ramirez, Leslie is here for you.
All right. We need some bulletproof helmets and a bulletproof vest.
Okay, we'll make sure to get that out so everybody could go ahead. If you have it and you have it to donate, we'll go ahead and do a shout out, and we'll make sure that we tell everybody that you sponsored it. Jennie needs a bulletproof helmet and also a vest. So if anybody out there knows, please let us know. Contact her. She gave us her details, and she'll take it, you know, with love and with honor, and she'll represent it well.
Yes.
So
And
thank you, Jennie.
I started a Facebook fundraiser to buy it, but either got to buy it or got to buy. I really think I need it. I really think
Yeah.
we do. And always in the motto, there for something, it doesn't happen. You know, like I have my extra key taped underneath my car. I will never lose my keys because I prepared for that.
Yeah. 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 Well, I want to thank you so much, Jennie. Yes. Yes.
Yes, it's my honor.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk soon, Jennie. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Until next time.
Nice to meet
Bye.
you.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys, as y'all see, Jennie is awesome. Y'all could go ahead and follow her on Facebook. Make sure to follow the Heat Magazine. If you know anybody or if you yourself have a bulletproof helmet or vest, please contact Jennie. She gave us her Facebook details, her TikTok details. Make sure to contact her. She needs this. She's out there on the front lines, and there's no reason why we can't protect her. So thank you so much, Jennie. And until next time, guys, it's peace until next time. So talk